Welcome to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti. My guest this evening is Chris Aniskovich, who is the chairman of the town council for the town of Clinton. Mr. Chairman,
Peter.
Welcome. Hi, buddy.
How are you?
Good. How are you? A long time no see. It's been a while.
It's been a while, but it's okay.
It's been a while.
Because now we got more stuff to talk about if it takes a while, so we're good.
I know. What's new?
Wow, what's new?
There's a lot new.
Well, yeah. Since it's been a while.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing is budget.
Yep.
Obviously, we just made it through our budget season, and we'll go to referendum vote on May 11th. So it was a long process. It was, I think, it turned out well. The short story is we have a 0 mill rate increase.
Okay.
So once again, we can go out to the public and say that we didn't increase their taxes this year. Some of it coming to COVID related, but other just kind of working hard to get the budget to a point where we knew everybody on the council wanted to be. So when we started the workshops, this one was a little bit more difficult because we started the workshops early this year. So the new seated council wasn't available to some of those early meetings. Yeah. So, there were discussions that the previous council had on where we wanted to be and what we wanted to do as far as numbers and increases. Because when you start out, we always talk about where we want to cap our increase out. Right. Because there's not much you can do. A lot of our budget's related to employment and union contracts, so we know that there's going to be increases on that end. So we worked well with the Board of Education, Superintendent of Schools, so we had an early conversation about where the council would feel comfortable being. And then obviously an election comes, and so there's new members. So we bring them up to speed, but yet we still, had some, I guess, some changes, some differences of opinion on where we wanted to be and what we wanted to do. Okay. But as a council, I think we worked well together to all come to a consensus on where we wanted to be. And I think at the end of the day, the winners were everybody in town.
Absolutely.
So it's exciting, and it's good to know that the council, even though there's a changeover in the council, that we were able to kind of all work together and, like I said, come to a consensus on where we wanted to be.
Now, as far as the changeover to the council, we have new members.
New members. So the new members are Carrie Allen, Chris Basante, and Tom Hollinger. So those are the 3 new ones. So 1 Republican, 2 Democrats. But again, it's good to bring new membership, new voices, new opinions, new thoughts. So the process is good. I think it's good that we have new members coming in and they bring a difference, of opinion on kind of where they want to be, what they want to do, and I think it's good. Okay. So we had 4 layovers and then the 3 new ones.
There you go.
So it's good.
And the Big Y property is absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
I was there the other day with my mom. Yeah.
It is. It's good. It's coming along. We have the new building in the front that's going in. Starbucks going in. Yeah. So it's going to continue kind of hopefully as we go. The developer would like to kind of bring in more kind of food facilities. He has been talking to people, but there's nothing in writing yet for anything else on any of the other pads. But Madison Furniture Barn is taking the pad that's being built now. Yep. And then Starbucks on the other end. And then there's still some space left on the building that's going up now. So I think it's a 17,000 square foot building, and Madison Furniture Bar will be taking about 14,000. Okay. So probably about 3,000 left there. Nice. And then once he gets the lease agreements on the other spots, then the other pads will go up. Nice. But it looks great.
It does.
Doing great, and so we're happy about it. It's in a great location, so we're kind of happy with that. People are not really happy with some of the traffic flows. Yeah. But again, that's Department of Transportation. It had to be approved by them. And once Madison Furniture Barn at the other end opens up, there'll be 2 entrances and exits. So that'll kind of alleviate some of the travel problems. So that'll keep going, and it'll keep us going on that end of the town. And a lot of other new things going in all over town. So we're kind of happy about that as well.
Well, what's going in town?
So we have a lot of new apartment buildings going up. The east West Main Street's got 2 new buildings that are up. So one on the corner by where the old Friendlies was, and then one further down. So those 2 are completed, and the rents are moving forward with that. So that's a good location there. The other end of town, down by near the police station, we have another development going in where the old corn crib was. Yeah. So unfortunately that came down, but the building in the front stayed. The developer agreed to keep that building up, and there'll be some apartments going in at that section as well. Oh, cool. So good stuff. I mean, there's a lot of development, a lot of building. Obviously, development breeds development.
Yep.
You hear a lot about people wanting apartments. Unfortunately, affordability becomes an issue. What's affordable and what's not affordable. There's a lot of difference of opinion on that.
Right.
But unfortunately, it's the market and what the market's going to bear.
Right.
And so it's difficult because you can't tell, the developers what to rent these units for.
Exactly.
Affordable units, again, yes, we would like to see more in town. But that number still is a big number. I think affordable for our town would be somewhere $1,400 for a single individual and about $1,800 for a family.
Right.
So, is that still affordable? So we're in the middle of an affordable plan that we have to submit to the state, like every town does in Connecticut. So we're working on that as well to kind of progress on kind of what things we want to work on within town to make sure that that happens.
Now, are you guys voting in person for the budget, or are we going to do absentee?
In person. Absentees would be a bit, but I mean,
Right.
yes, we are in person for voting.
Cool.
May 11th. Hopefully, if that kind of goes through, then we don't have to worry about anything else, and we'll be
right.
ready to go.
Exactly. And as far as what else is going on in town, I understand that the town, what's the word I want?
Yeah.
The town manager,
Yes.
his contract is up this year too.
It is. So he signed a 3-year contract when we hired him in January 6th of 19, 20, yeah, 19. So he's going on his 3rd year. He has, per his contract, 180 days prior to signing his original contract to notify the town of his desire to leave or to stay. So at this point, those conversations haven't happened. Those
Okay.
conversations will happen in an executive session.
Right.
Obviously, it would be great not to have a revolving door in our town.
Yeah.
This is our first town manager under our new form of government, and my opinion would be, hopefully we can move forward to trying to keep an individual for kind of a period of time so it doesn't look like we have that revolving door.
Right.
Personally, I think he's done a wonderful job for the town. He is, doing things that this town needed. I think he's, slowly changing the method on how we do business in town.
Right.
And even locally within our own town, budget-related items,
Yep.
things that people didn't understand that, unfortunately, this is all taxpayer money. It's
Absolutely.
not our money to use when we want.
Nope.
So anytime you want more than a penny, then we have to make sure that it's budgeted in the right place. And so, again, previous administrations, different form of government, things were different. You wanted to get something done, things might have got done a little bit quicker.
Right.
But when you bring in a professional to run your town, it's completely different. He's going to make sure that he follows the procedures that he needs to follow.
And the first couple times I've met him, he seems really nice.
Nice guy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's-
I mean, the difficult.
I met him right before the pandemic.
Yeah. I mean, the difficult thing is people still don't understand, about his position and what they want him to do. They want to see him out in the public more. They want to see him there, but be the quote unquote face of the town. But that's not what a town manager does. I mean, if that's what a town manager form of government did, then we wouldn't need a town council. We wouldn't need a chairman of the town council. You would already have that individual doing everything on his own.
Absolutely.
But that's not what they're there for. So they're there to run the town in a professional manner, deal with the town hall employees, deal with department heads, and I think it's working great. I mean, I like the way it's working. I understand how it works better now than I did previously, and people need to kind of just understand that it's going to take time for them to kind of understand that that's the way it's going to go. That's the way it's going to be going forward.
Right.
So whether it's him, whether it's somebody else, it's going to be the same thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. And just so people know, if there is a face of at a town event, this, that, or the other, and it's not him, that would mean it's you.
It's the chairman, not me, but the chairman. Whoever the chairman would be at any given time is the ceremonial head of the town.
Exactly.
So that's why I get to come here and tell you all these great things. See,
thanks.
You're lucky. But I mean, that's what we should do. We should be as a town, getting the word out, letting people know what's going on in town, having them understand kind of what this change in government is doing.
Yep.
Is everybody going to like the town manager that we may have at any given time? No. Are they going to like how it's run? No. But the good part is this is the best way.
Right.
For our town, for us going forward as a town, I think this is absolutely the best decision the town's made. Absolutely. And it was overwhelmingly voted for.
Yeah.
And so the struggle that I've seen is that people don't necessarily understand how it worked, but yet we had a majority that voted for it. So. It's a slow learn. I mean, I think we're still learning. We're, year 3. I think he's done a great job with our budgets.
Absolutely.
That process has worked wonderful. 0 the first year, a decrease in our mill rate the second year, 0 this year. We can't sustain that,
No.
Obviously as a town, but the benefit is that he's there to work through those numbers and get us to where we need to be.
Absolutely. What's going on down at the town beach?
So the town beach, hopefully, knock on wood, we have a meeting on Wednesday morning of this week.
Okay.
We have a vendor that's going to come in and would like to go into the concession stand at the town beach.
Alrighty.
So hopefully we'll have somebody there at the town beach, because obviously, again, that's supposed to be a benefit to the town and the people that go to the beach. So it's not, like a money grab for the town, or the town should be getting an exorbitant amount of rent for these, for that property. But having somebody there that would be there on a daily basis is important to the town.
Absolutely. And we also have down at the harbor.
Yep, town dock. So the town dock will be back again. Liv's Shack, so Liv's Oyster from Saybrook. Yep, they did it last year. They're going to be back again this year.
Oh, nice.
They've already notified the town that they want to do that. So it's good. So those places will be occupied, and have people available to, give them some options on what they want to do down by the town docks.
Cool. Chris, would you mind sticking around for another segment?
Love to.
All right, we'll be right back.
You matter.
You matter.
You matter.
And your words matter too.
Your words matter.
What you say in the hallways at school or in the student section at a game matters.
Words can be hurtful.
Words can be offensive.
Words can leave scars.
Words can also inspire.
Support and uplift.
You and your words.
Are they both important?
As a matter of fact, yes.
Community TV, your neighborhood TV.
Publicly funded and a reliable partner for cable companies nationwide, it provides transparent coverage of local and state government, education, and public programming.
A digital town green that can be watched anywhere, anytime, and on any device.
Watch us on today's high-tech distribution methods.
Community TV in Connecticut.
Local,
unfiltered,
reliable, and yours.
Welcome back to this week's edition of the Pete Mezzetti Show. I'm Pete Mezzetti, sitting here with Chris Aniskovich, who is chairman of the town council for the town of Clinton. Mr. Chairman, welcome back.
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you, my friend. So, Chris, we were talking about what's going on in town. I also understand that they're going to bring back First Thursday.
Yes.
In the town of Clinton.
Yep.
What is it, and how does it start?
So it's set up by it's sponsored by the Arts Council.
Okay.
So it's not a town sponsored event.
Got it.
But it's sponsored by them, and they're bringing in musicians that at a lot of the locations downtown.
Yep.
They have musicians outside of the businesses down there.
Oh, sure.
To attract obviously people to the business.
Yeah.
They're also at Chips from pretty much Stem to Fern, I think, is the furthest one out, but
Okay.
all the way down to the fire department.
All right.
Sometimes up at Pearson, so locations would be, I guess, changeable throughout the year, but this will be going through the summer. The first Thursday of every month, they will hold this event.
Oh, cool.
So they have a stage up at the firehouse. Fire department last year was doing some food down there.
Okay.
And they just have, vendors and musicians all along Route 1, promoting them, promoting the business, and promoting the town.
Right.
So I think it's good, it's good for the town. It's good to get the people into town. So hopefully it'll be a success. Last year was the first year, and hopefully it'll continue this year.
Absolutely. One other thing we got to talk about that we didn't talk about in the first segment, charter.
Yes. So by statute, when you have a charter within 5 years, you would have to arrange for another charter revision committee.
All right.
So we are year 2+ into the new town manager form of government.
Okay.
So we've decided to set up a commission in order to look at some things that the council thought would be important to look at. Different from years in the past, the council decided that they're going to kind of put forth the areas that they think need to be reviewed and maybe need some adjustments.
Sure.
This is based upon the change of form of government and just in general.
Absolutely.
The one benefit to us this year is that the town manager would be involved in those meetings.
There you go.
And I think the best part about that is then it keeps the meeting focused.
Yeah.
So we'll present the charge to the commission. Town manager will be involved in those meetings so that he can then make sure that the meetings stay on track to where they want to be.
Exactly.
Because there are a lot of things that people would want to look at, but it's how deep you want to dive into those changes. Because some of them would require referendum votes, you know, and so all that is part of that commission. So again, they'll look at it, they'll make these tweaks that we feel are going to be important, and then down the road, if there's other things that we'll look at, we'll do it again. But it's important to continually review the charter.
Absolutely.
Especially with the change.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, how many people are you looking for to have on the
I
committee?
believe we said 5 people will be on that committee.
Okay.
You know, so we've actually already put that out. We've had some people respond to looking to be, you know, part of that. So it's good. People, you know, they hear about it, and you know, when the word gets out, then we're comfortable putting together a commission that would be focused on the charge that the council gives to them.
Absolutely. It sounds like a very, very worthwhile commission.
It's worthwhile, then it's also it's beneficial to the town, and then, you know, it keeps us moving forward, you know, because these are the things that the charter will dictate going forward.
What's the status of the Starbucks property?
They say that we're supposed to open in the first quarter, but I guess there's some delays.
Oh, is there?
So, you know, they're moving forward, but yes, that'll be soon.
Okay.
You know, the update, I know there's some talk about the Pearson School, which is our other big project in town.
Let's talk about that.
So we're still in the process of trying to get the underlying deed restrictions resolved.
Okay.
That property is on 3 different deeds. The property was deeded to the town by the Morgan Trust. So the town has an agreement in hand as far as compensation that we would pay the Morgan Trust for them to release the deeds and the restrictions that lie under there. Because the restrictions now are that the building would have to be used for educational or moral fortitude. So, you know, that basically gives us the free rein to do kind of the further discussions about what we really want to do with the building.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of talk, there's a lot of discussions, you know, amongst the town members about what they want to do with the building. You know, the things that we have to look at as a council, because ultimately the decision lies with the council. So ultimately it'd be their decision what to do with the building is, you know, number one, the cost. So if we keep the building, what are the renovation costs? How much is it going to cost to bring that building, you know, to code, where we need a ceiling, we need air conditioning, there's asbestos, I would assume. So there's a lot of things, and it's costly. It's not a cheap venture.
No.
And so we had a structural integrity report done that provided us details as far as a library. People had talked about the library moving there.
Right.
Whether that was going to happen or not going to happen, at least we've addressed those issues.
Right.
And major cost to actually bring the building up to code to be able to carry the weight of those books. So it's going to be a big decision. I think as council members, as chairman, I want to make sure that people understand this is a decision that's going to have an effect on us many years down the road.
Right.
You know, there's the talk of the senior center, there's talk of the community center, and I think those are things that maybe the town needs, but we also have to look at budgetarily, what are the costs of maintaining that on an ongoing basis?
Exactly.
So people don't want their taxes to go up, but they want these additional things. They carry the weight, and it's going to be a cost, and those costs have to be backed into the budget, and ultimately that would lead to some increases.
Absolutely.
So we have to look at that, and you know, this isn't, hey, what are we going to do next week? What are we going to do next month?
Right.
For our town, it needs to be 5-7 years down the road.
Absolutely.
We're in the middle of a discussion as far as the fire department goes as well, where we may need a new facility for that because they've outgrown their current facility.
Okay.
And now they're also located in a flood zone. So
They are.
yeah, so we have to start looking at that.
Wow.
So they did a facility report that they've provided to the council members, the previous council.
Yep.
Now that we have new council members, they're going to be coming back and giving that facility report again at the end of May.
Okay.
So at least it brings the current members up to date on kind of that building and what do we do. So if we relocate that building, then that's something else that we have that we may be able to utilize for the town.
Absolutely.
So a lot of good stuff, a lot of things.
Yeah.
The problem is, we want it now.
Yeah.
You know, and I think everybody wants it now, but we have to understand that there's a process, you know, that we need to go through to make sure that we're making the best possible decision for our town.
Okay.
Because ultimately this, you know, falls back into the laps of everybody in town.
Right.
You know, the taxes are going to have a very big impact on this. So hopefully people understand it. I'm sure some people want it done tomorrow, but unfortunately it's going to take some time because we're still not resolved with the underlying deed restrictions because that has to go through the Attorney General's office.
Oh, really?
So they're in the process of doing all that now.
Oh, okay.
So-
I didn't know that.
Town managers, I mean, he's been dealing with this since he got here.
Yeah.
Because he knew it's kind of the last big asset as a town that we have. So if we take that back, then that's, you know, a large, you know, asset that we have, so that we have to make sure we make the right decision with it.
Speaking of things going on in town, the train station is beautiful.
Beautiful and open for business.
I haven't been in it. I've been by it, but I haven't.
Yeah. So last month, dignitaries from the state all came in, did a ribbon cut-in, and it's a beautiful structure. Yeah. So I mean, it's a great location, beautiful structure. They've increased the stops at the station. About 23 additional stops now that we have there.
Oh wow!
And again, going forward, as everything changes and you move along, and the stops and the where it goes, all that stuff is an ongoing kind of work in progress.
Right.
So they'll try to make things, maybe go from, instead of New Haven, down to Bridgeport, or other locations at the other end of the state or different states. So the more people use it, then those things would be a benefit. So great location, beautiful building, and now behind it you can see the old Unilever building, where they had the administrative offices. That's in the process now of being completed. They're working on the apartments for that building.
Okay, that was actually going to be my next question. What are they doing with Unilever?
That's it. So those apartments are in process now.
Okay.
So he's received his permits to continue that build.
Oh, nice.
So you can see some signs of movement over there.
Okay.
So that'll be a big benefit to that area as well. So ridership, I think, having a train station with some apartments would be a big benefit.
Right.
And then the main building on Unilever, we've been told that he's going to be having a full site plan that he's going to be ready to provide to land use, then start the planning and zoning process on that. So not sure what it'll be quite yet, but at least we know that that's something that he is working on putting together so we can bring to the town as well. So hopefully that process will begin as well.
Now with the new train station, what can people expect to see when they go use the upgraded train station?
I mean, just that in general, the location of it, obviously, where the lighting is much better. It's brand new. You have the walkover to go to both sides, and now we're at the past. You didn't have that.
Right.
So just those general. That just makes it easier for ridership. And then having more trains flow through is a huge thing. So I think that whole area, once it's all completed, is going to be a great area for the town of Clinton. Once Unilever gets moving along, 2023, I guess, is the kind of date that they're looking for completion of the apartments.
Oh, cool.
So I think it's 32 apartments that'll be there. So a great location for that, to go with the train station. And then once they start on the other building, everything over there will be, hopefully moving forward.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What else is going on in town we can talk about?
Just having, obviously everything kind of opening up now that that summer's here.
Yeah.
Obviously, everything down by Cedar Island and Aqua, and the town location down there, Shanks. Obviously Lobster Landing.
Yeah.
That whole area just balloons and blows up. So it's great to to see that all starting to come about now. It seems like we're having a late spring. So hopefully things will get better, and people will start frequenting those, and we can start bringing the people into town. Things like First Thursday is important.
Right.
Obviously, that's something that would bring people to town. Have them walking around downtown and having the location, there, knowing that there's the other things that they can go to with all the marinas. And again, the trolley will be up and running again.
That's right. So let's talk about that.
The trolley will be running, I guess, back to Hammonasset again like it did last year.
Okay.
So, I don't know what the start date is on that, but at least that's something else as well that's important. So these are things that just, obviously tourism is big for our town. We know that in the summer we balloon to 23,000 people. Right. And we want to promote that. We want to promote, our downtown. We want to promote our shoreline. So anything that we can do to influence that, and the Arts Council does a great job on, on the first Thursdays, and making sure that, the word gets out so that we can do things, and we can get people to kind of go down to our, marina area where they can support our local businesses, as well as the local businesses downtown.
Yeah.
So, the other thing, with a lot of this too is the ARPA funding. So we have, we've gotten our first 1.9 million-ish of that money. We went through the process. We allocated all that money, and I believe last call there was about 8 or 9 people that have already submitted their applications for the funds. So there's still a process that the business owners or the entities that are getting the money have to submit applications. So hopefully that would continue, and we can kind of move forward with that as well, because it's important to the town as well.
Now, is there a certain amount of time to, if you get the ARPA monies, or a certain amount of time that you have to use the money, and what happens if you don't use it all?
If you don't use it all, you're giving it back. So our total for town is 3.8 million and change. You have until 2026 to use all the funds. Okay. If you don't use it by then you have to return any of it. And everything is pretty, it's Department of Treasury is involved. We get audited, so the people that are using the money and are requesting the money have to use it for the purpose they were given it. Right. So there's no wavering of that. So they have to make sure when they complete the applications that they're telling us what they're going to use the money for, and that's what it's used for. Cool. That would be another reason why we have to, because the town's on the hook. If they use the money for something that they weren't supposed to, then we're paying it back.
Get in trouble.
Yeah. We're paying it back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but that's important. So we don't know when the next tranche of money is going to come, but hopefully soon, and then we can work on the next 1.9 million.
Cool. Well, Chris Aniskovich, from the Chairman of the Town Council, we're about to run out of time, but before we do,
yes,
thanks for coming down. We'll see you again soon.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Chris. On behalf of Chris Aniskovich, I'm Pete Mezzetti. Thanks, good night, and we'll see you next time.